as we have 3 lights. Well, we've got 2 lights at the moment. Always a little bug with the lights, but when they go off, they go off. And we're going to drive through penalty already from Crimsonium. Jump start, but they get off the line. Everyone seems to get off pretty nicely. I think Aaron has got a little bit of a better run than Onion Barge as they go side by side into turn 1. Aaron is going, it takes the lead from Onion Barge. Oh, and we got a collision back of the track.
That's Hugo's end. That's Haas. I think that was I didn't see who that was. I think that was that somebody's off there, I think.
Yeah, Wimpy's. Oh my goodness! At this, he's going to go down the outside of Thimo. Return. Oh my goodness! There's contact. Oh no!
Because he comes back on. Oh. So, I mean, it's kind of working out for them. They're just kind of dragging each other along. They are making up ground on Vinny, who's starting to slow a little bit as well.
Sorry, Triton. The Crimsonian went for a move on Netflix. He got the pass done, but then he kind of didn't have much room to go. Netflix. It looked like he kind of squeezed them on the entry and the exit of turn 2. Yeah, Verker's really putting the pressure on Wimps, and he goes almost off track to get the move done.
Yeah, he's off track
yeah.
to get that move done. Yeah, that is...
you can't do that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you can't do that. He should be giving that position back. Oh no! Oh no! Hugo's has got a puncture! I like how he said front left. So,
oh no.
Yeah, his plan has backfired on him. It was... I mean, he had nothing to lose. It was pit and not get any points, or get a point, or it's don't pit and get points, or yeah, now it's just he's not going to get anything. Unfortunately, it's worth the risk. I mean, but yeah, he's going to stop and let these guys go. But
yeah, Keyboard Magnus is really setting himself up here, but I think he's going to go for a move on this main straight.
Oh yeah, now he's sticking into that slipstream here. Yeah, he's going to have a great run here. Yeah, in hard lap. Wimpy also chucking the
really
battery
close.
all the way up. Now here he pulls out to the left-hand side on the inside. Here he goes, wheel to wheel.
Oh, and they make contact.
Out of that. They make a little bit of contact there. Nothing in it. Keyboard Anderson tries to beat around the outside now, and he gets past there. Now Thimo again squirming all over the place as coming across the line. I think is Mr. Onion Barge soon, but
oh, Thimo!
Oh, no! Gone. Onion Barge crosses the line here and gets the fastest lap. Can Aaron beat him though? Seems
gets
like
the good fastest lap for good measure. No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's not going to be.
Oh yeah, he backs out. He knows it too. So second place for Aaron. Very unfortunate for Hugo's P12 in the end with that puncture. And Mr.
Vance crosses the he crosses the line P3, up 7 positions to claim that podium.
Hello everyone. Oh, I cut you off. Sorry, the dramatic pause got me. Hello Mr. TipsyBob, thank you for having me again. As you said, I believe from our amazing weather reporter herself, Mr. Kitsune, I believe she told us that it is light rain at the start into heavy rain. Is that correct? Oh dear. Dear. Okay, so we have issues, yes. For those of you, since you guys can't hear, Tipsy is gonna be working out his audio issues in a minute. Yes. So yeah, we will be right back in a quick minute. Unmuted, muted again, or I mean muted and unmuted for that. Check your
Ah, I think I might be it now. Yeah. So it seems to be working on the OBS. I just need to apply a hotkey. 2 seconds and we're back on. We should be back on.
Chief crashed. Was gonna migrate host.
Sorry about that, everyone. Hopefully the microphone is working fine now. Of course, if there's any issues, people will inform us.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, everyone.
We
have a bit of an issue. Our host just crashed, so hopefully it migrates in time. I mean, it should be good for race by the time race comes around. But yeah, think is everything working?
That seems to be. Everything seems to be. I will just ask my trusty sidekick, Mrs. Kitsune, behind me. Kitsune, everything going well? Oh, I'm getting a big thumbs up. So we are ready to rock. Triton, a bit of a delay, but would you like to do? Would you like to do a hot lap with someone?
I would, as soon as I find somebody who's gonna be my victim. I believe I'm too late for that person. We can choose. I think we did Thimo already, though. We can do Onion Barge, I think, as soon as because he is on. Yeah, he is on his up lap. As the game is telling me correctly, of course. He is making his way around traffic, coming down to the start-finish straight now. Which hopefully that's not invalidated because he clipped that curb, but here he goes now for a lap of Austria down the start finish straight, one of 3 DRS zones here. Oh yeah, he's already backing off, so never mind.
Hopefully this migrating host will cure itself because it's
go to motocrosser. I think he is looks to be he looks to be knowing what he's doing. Now let's try that again. He too goes over that curb, so hopefully he's okay. And I think he's low on battery, but here he goes down the start-finish straight, up to turn 1 here before the 100-meter board, clips that inside line perfectly. He doesn't run too wide there onto turn. This is supposed to be turn 2 and 3 here up the hill. As you see the forest all around you here at that black box before that brake hard going uphill. Take a wide line in so you don't lose the rear on the exit of the corner there into the 3rd DRS zone here. Coming up towards turn 4, I believe, which is another hard braking zone here, down to 3rd gear. We're going to see at the 100-meter board. Chuck the car in, let it rotate out on its own as the track is a bit on camber there. Take that exit curb if you can to keep the car straightened out. After the 50-meter board, hit the brakes, let the car drift in, kind of chuck it in, and then get a good exit here. Slow in, fast out, always the best choice in this game. Going here through turn 7, I believe that is. Wide in, or like very tight inside, and then wide on the exit here. At the 50-meter board on the brakes, he is going into the pits, but that is still essentially a lap there, as you would brake after that for a lap of Austria. So I think that's as good as I'm going to get.
I think that's as good as you're going to get. So just anyone who is watching, apologies earlier on there for the technical issues we had, or the audio issues that I had. A bit of insider knowledge. I know me and Triton were kind of last minute thing getting this set up because we had our own respective things holding us up, but we are here and we are ready to call this for you.
I'm gonna be honest, I had nothing holding me up. I just messed it up on my own. I went to take a shower and I came back.
I was trying to cover for you, Triton. I was trying to not let the viewing public realize that you slept in.
I need Mr. EGL to know that I am a liable and very honest worker. So please don't fire me.
Yes, do not fire Mr. Triton. I am very happy with my commentator, my joint commentator. But should we get into this, Triton, and try and call this and what we're thinking? So what were we saying? Yeah, so that we've kind of had a bit of a bad run of luck in terms of the weather in recent races. There was a wet Monaco and 2 SRL, and then I think the previous 2 Tier 2 races have both been wet in Canada and in France.
And France SLR Tier 1 as well was fairly wet towards the second half.
And
so
so
yeah, a lot of wet weather.
From what I believe, before we had those issues, we're gonna have a wet race as well in Austria, I think.
Yeah, Chief just messaged me. Excuse me. He said rain 20 minutes in, so we are 100% having some rain here again, and I am sure that is gonna make all the Tier 2 drivers here we have very, very happy. It's not, but you know.
Well, what we've seen from France and Canada, Triton, was who actually is quite strong in the wet, and the 2 standout names is Onion Barge and and Aaron.
Yeah, they I mean, in Canada, Aaron showed pretty much how it's done.
Yeah.
Completely ran away with that race, and then Onion Barge returned the favor last week. Not to count out, I mean, we can't count out Silver or Matthias. They're both very strong, probably the strongest driver pairing we have, because they are leading the constructors by a significant amount, if I'm correct. And I believe it's McLaren in P2 by, and they're quite a while ahead as well of the nearest. I'm not too sure where Williams is in that aspect, because Onion Barge has been bringing home a lot of points for them. But at the moment he is on provisional pole, so still looking fast. Aaron has yet to put in a lap, so that's a tiny bit worrying, since we are approaching the end of this session, but he is potentially setting one right now.
Yeah, you don't really want to leave it too late. I know there are some people that they like to, leave it till like the last 2 minutes or 1 minute before they set the lap in to get, whenever the track is at its grippiest. But I mean, I tried that myself in France. Was it last week? And my goodness, I got it wrong, because every single time I kept invalidating the first corner, and the result was I didn't get a proper quali lap in. So although he does,
I think there was somebody else who was in the same boat as you, but we're not going to talk about him.
Oh, would that have been the lovely gentleman that was starting just beside me?
I think so.
I think that was. He shall remain nameless, Mr. Triton.
Yeah. For my own sake, we'll keep him nameless.
But I kind of forgot what I was saying there. Yeah, you don't want to leave it too late. So Aaron has put in a benchmark.
Oh dear, sorry. Yeah, speaking of Aaron, he missed the pit.
I just caught that.
Wall,
yeah,
but it's qualifying, so that's he can get away with that.
Oh, it's worth mentioning that we have Mr. Jeremy Peters is back from his little break, and he's quietly going about his business. Currently P7. I don't know if he's had much practice since he's been absent for a while. Maybe he has been just grinding it in the background, but I mean, he's already come out P7 so far, 1 minute 5.9, reasonably competitive comparison to the times that we have.
Definitely competitive at the moment. Mm-hmm. Also, I forgot, we should have mentioned this earlier. We have a bit of a driver swap here.
Yes.
Burke is switching off of the Renault seat and is going to be partnering Onion Barge at Williams. So that might put Williams right into this constructors battle with Racing Point. So another prospect for the season. So hopefully that will be here. That is some very bad timing. Hopefully he gets back in quick. I don't have him.
So if Aaron wants to mount this assault on the standings with Onion Barge and Matthias and Silver, he really needs to get back in, hopefully, and he really needs to get a better time put on the board.
Okay, so Silver's retiring on track. Hopefully nobody is coming towards that area there. Yeah, he should be clear, but still, he's starting on mediums if nobody jumps him, and I'm fairly certain he's going to get jumped here because there are a few people to put in their laps, and so it might actually not work out too well. Yes.
We also have if people look down the the current drivers. We have four, I believe, reserve drivers in the form of Mr. Hugo, who we are running on board with at the moment, because he's just going out to set his final attempt. We have a new driver. I think it's the first time I've seen him anyway. It is Mr. Kutender. Hopefully I'm not murdering that name. Kutender in the Renault with a 1 minute 0.4 or 1 minute 4.9. So he's showing that he's got pace. The other,
yeah, you could say he is. I'm sorry, but you could say he is a contender for this year.
Yes.
I'm gonna get off right now. I think.
Yes, I'll get your code for you. If we actually, it's quite interesting if we see from 2nd to 5th, from Hugo, Contender, GK Projects and Smeltino are all reserve drivers. So the reserve drivers are really putting it to the established drivers. Of course, these guys will be pushing. Some are reserve, and I think they're quite happy being reserve. Of course, some are out there looking for a seat, so they're doing themselves no harm setting these decent times in. But just running on with Hugo, he's just approaching the end of his final Sector 2. Let's just have a little check.
Aaron does get back in, but he is definitely not going to be able to put another lap time, so he's going to be starting 15th on the grid, unfortunately.
Sorry, Triton, but I can tell you that Hugo is just over 2/10 up on his previous best, which, if he manages to finish this, he will go on provisional pole.
See,
so this should be pole for Hugo. Right, there we go.
And it is by just a 10th. So far so good. Let's see.
Oh, and Onion Barge is up by just a shade under at 2/10. So it's this final. Yeah, it's these last two corners is gonna nail it for Onion Barge.
Contender goes up to P2 as well, and jumps Onion Barge by just a bit. So let's see if Onion.
I think he's got it. I think he might just.
Yeah, he does have it by a fine margin. 1 minute 4.3 for him. Luke put in his time as well. GK Project is about to be crossing the line soon as well.
Yeah, I'm just checking his time. He's not improved. He's actually going slower. Anybody else?
Yeah, Matthias goes 5th fastest here.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Jeremy lost it at turn 1.
Oh dear. Yeah, he's on worn tires. He was those are not fresh tires. Keyboard Magnussen, who has been sitting quietly.
Yeah,
is gonna be on his way here. Aaron is gonna be starting last because of that unfortunate timing.
Keyboard Magnussen was improved by 8/10.
Oh yes.
So
okay.
This might surprise us here.
Let's see what he can do. 7th fastest for him. Very good lap. Not sure how good Austria is for keyboard users. I wouldn't assume it's very pretty with some of these winding corners, but I believe that is qualifying.
Yeah, just running on with Thimo. He's not improving. He's down by a 10th.
But let's see if he can gain some time out of this final sector.
11th. He would like 11th. Oh well, 12th. You know what?
12th. That is very good. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, 11th to 12th.
Especially since he did 2 laps on those. And Jeremy gets disqualified, so he's going to be starting last now, actually, because he did. He should have rotated it.
Oh. I thought he was going to get away.
I saw that. So that's a bit unlucky there. So that is qualifying. Yes, as soon as Onion Barge enters the pit lane. So good lap from him. Almost 2/10 ahead of Hugos for P3 or for P1.
Well, so the guys that we would expect to see up there, Aaron and Silver, and Matthias is doing pretty good there, P5. Yep. When you see those top 7 times, they are pretty close to each other. So Onion Barge has got rid of, or managed to shake off the shackles of Silver and Aaron, who are further down than I'm sure they would have liked, and I guess as we would have expected as well, although I suppose Aaron does have a reason for that position because he did disconnect. As we can see, he's down in 16th, second last. But Onion will not have it all his way, because in second place right behind him is the current reigning 2SRL Drivers' Champion in Hugo. And although Hugo, over the previous races that we've had, he kind of lost some of his pace, because I think he was just away for a while. But
Also, it's
yeah,
also down to the fact that he is adjusting to using the wheel still.
yes.
He's getting the hang of it now. He says he is, but it is
Well,
still a fact. I mean, I will make that excuse for him.
uh,
If you look, I think to go a little bit off topic here, if you
yeah.
remember in 2S last season, you could easily see where Hugos was dominating.
Hmm.
It was second, and then he didn't start one race, and then it was like out of the next 5 races, he won 4 of them and came third in the other one or so. And then he decided to try the steering wheel out, and from there on, he got like ninth and eighth or something, and then another really bad result, and then he went back to the controller, and all of a sudden had like 2 more wins. So it isn't, I guess, I mean, it's definitely not easy. Like, you can't instantly adjust to the steering wheel. Um, and I know it took me quite a bit of time when I started in 2017 to use the steering wheel. It took me about 3 or 4 months total, like of nonstop gameplay, to maybe get the hang of it. So
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair and reasonable time frame
ooh.
because yeah.
Also, again, sorry to interrupt you. Vinny made it in, but he's gonna be on default setup. I did not realize that he was away until just now. I guess he was late, unfortunately. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, so like yourself, I used to always drive all my games with the joypad. And then everyone was just getting faster and faster. And anytime I asked everyone, you know, what have you done differently? Most people said, oh, we changed to the wheel and all that stuff. So I got myself a wheel as well. And yeah, I would agree with you, Triton, that it's about 3 to 4 months. Well, 3 months for me anyway, because I can't be solid full attack racing. But now that I've been using the wheel for so long, for a couple of seasons, I can't use the joypad. But even in saying that, Hugo was, even though he has, you know, adjusting to the wheel, and you will naturally take a while to adjust it, he has been still showing, you know, decent pace. He hasn't been showing his outright pace as we know he has, but, you know, as each race goes by, he's starting to get better and better and better with this wheel, and I think his P2 is already showing what he can do here. So this is not going to go, well, it might go Onion Barge's way, but we'll see. Onion and Contender, he's got a couple of fast boys behind him. Then we've got another even faster boys as well further back who will be mounting a charge. But we are about to hit the road. Here we go.
So let's see what we got here.
So we're just waiting for the lights. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights. The lights are lighting up. Are we going to get the light bug? We've got a little bit of it, but lights out and off they go, and everyone seems to get off reasonably well. Onion Barge gets a good start, and it looks like Contender gets the jump on Hugo. What are we seeing in the background?
I don't think we saw any carnage there. Yeah, but Hugos is actually going to fight this back here, going up to turn 2 or 3, and gets a bit ahead there. There's a Alfa Romeo fighting at Keyboard Magnussen with an absolute flyer of a start, all the way up into P2, and very quietly there.
That was a fantastic move.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Keyboard Magnussen now, and Contender is actually going to get past Hugos again here. Hugos on the inside, though, going to be trying to fight it, but Contender trying to feed it around the outside there. Matthias is starting to lurk, as well as Neth Luke, and Hugos does get back ahead. In the back, Bance and Wimpy were fighting there, and Bance keeps ahead of him for the time being, chasing down Verk now. And, wow. But, I mean, Keyboard Magnussen with a flyer from, I think that was, let me see where that was from. I think that was from P7 or so. So, yeah, from P7 on the grid. He is already up into P2 on the start.
Yeah, but look at Aaron. Aaron is up. What's that?
Aaron as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And he's
now
going for a move on
Wimpy.
Wimpy.
Teammate here.
Wimpy backs out.
Wimpy, backs out of it. Lets his teammate through. Very smart team order stuff you made for Ferrari. But now he's going to be chasing down Bance. So good start from both of them.
Yeah, Bance has got a good drive on Verk.
Is he going to send it up the inside here? He is. Very nicely. Oh, but Verk chops him off there. Yeah. He has the right to do so there. And now Aaron. Ooh, Aaron has to go a little bit wide as well because Vance comes back. So nothing doing it with it between any of these guys. So
I thought that was going to be another incident between Verk and Vance, like it was in the final corner of Canada.
Yeah, Wimpy getting a little bit sideways there with Smeltino and Motocrosser
Yeah.
having to back out of it a bit. GK Project now trying to look down the inside of him. Wimpy does give him space there, but gets it covered off very nicely. Silver so far has not made up much ground as well. He's starting on those soft tires, so he's going to have to get a move on it and not get held up by these guys. He's currently right behind Thimo, but might actually have a good run here on the exit here of turn, or the final turn. But yeah, coming up here, Thimo and Mosey Gaming are going to go wheel to wheel. And Thimo down the inside tries to feed it there, make a little bit of contact, but so he's unable to do it. Now has to relinquish that spot to Silver. So Silver trying to make up some gains here from where he lost out in qualifying. Is he going to send it up the inside of Mosey? He is not, but he will have DRS now. Meanwhile, Aaron and this is a big DRS train here from second place. Onion Barge is just taken off from Keyboard Magnussen, and now Hugo's Q-Tender, Matthias, Nethluke, Verk, and Bence, and now Aaron are all on the back of him. So we have quite a train here, as some battles are going to be taking place here in the near future.
Oh, Silver's right on the back of Mozzie here. He set them up for, yeah, he's having a little look to see what's up ahead.
A little bit too far back at the moment.
But he'll be looking for this. Oh, GK Project runs really wide, but Silver gets a good run off the.
Oh yeah, sorry to interrupt you here up front here. Yeah, for P3, Hugos tries to have a look at Keyboard Magnussen, misses out though, runs a bit wide, and now Kutender and even Matthias might actually get the jump on him here. Matthias backs out, but Kutender on the inside there. There's a bit of contact with Keyboard Magnussen and Kutender, but he does get the move done on Hugos, and Keyboard Magnussen stays ahead for the time being. But he is a sitting duck here on Kutender here, but he does keep it defended properly. Hugos now sends it up the inside, but ghosts luckily, otherwise there would have been contact there. And now Verk and Nethluke are going at it. Nethluke backs out. Verk does get ahead of him, and Aaron gets ahead of Bance there when I wasn't looking. So this is starting to shape up really hardcore up here.
Yeah, it's almost so many things going on. It's hard to keep track of it, everything. Yeah, Bance. This battle for the middle here that we're watching is the closest. Aaron's looking really racy. He's trying to make up for where he lost out in qualifying.
And keep in mind, also, he's on medium tires and he's able to keep up with these guys. This might work out perfectly for him if the rain comes and everyone else has to pit in. So if he can keep those, I believe this is an easy one stop in general.
Yeah.
But if he can avoid doing that stop, he will be perfect. Like, he will be well set for this. Now he's lining up here on Nethluke. We got several cars going at it here now. Matthias has a look up the inside. Verk sends it up around the outside of Matthias and gets ahead of him because Matthias did not see that coming. And now Verk has a really good run on Hugos now. And Hugos gonna be planting his car there. Oh,
sorry, Aaron had a little look there on Nethluke.
Oh, Matthias runs wide again. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, he's going onto the grass. Nethluke gets past him now. Aaron might actually get past him too. Goes to the inside, the only place he can go to, and is he going to get past here? He holds on to the inside there very well. So, almost a costly mistake there. Sorry to interrupt you.
All right.
But this is all helping Onion Barge. He is absolutely gone now, 5 seconds up the road. And if Aaron...
Oh my goodness, Aaron sent it. Aaron absolutely sent... Whoa, and he cuts his Bance!
Contact, he nearly spins. Oh, Bance is off too!
Yeah.
I didn't catch that. What happened?
That got really juicy. Aaron just sent one on Matthias, and I don't think Matthias was expecting it. And he kind of forced Matthias off wide, and then whenever that happened, that obviously it naturally slowed Aaron down. Bance seen a little gap on the inside of that final corner, went forward, backed out of it, and then Aaron, of course, took his turn in from what I seen, and his rear caught Bance.
Yeah, meanwhile here, Verk making a move on Hugos. Hugos sends it down around the outside on the brakes. Verk giving him space there. Keyboard Magnussen holds off on Kutender for the time being, but yeah, Hugos has to relinquish that spot right now. Kutender absolutely stalking Keyboard Magnussen, though he is fighting for his life for that P2, which he absolutely... I mean, I'm still surprised he got that. I didn't even see him at the back there. I thought that was... because I saw him P7 in qualifying. I was not expecting this, so... Amazing start from Keyboard Magnussen still holding on here, but might not be for long here because Contender has the DRS and the slipstream here, which may not be too powerful, but with the DRS it is enough here. He tries to go around the outside here. They make a bit of contact. Keyboard Magnussen forces him off, loses the rear, and Verk is going to get past him too, and Hugos potentially, but Hugos does have DRS. Verk does not, so Hugos might actually get back into P3. He does, as yeah, Verk backs out of it. Keyboard Magnussen around the outside here of Verk here. It is not able to get that done at the moment. But does he have DRS? He does, and so does Verk. Everyone pretty much does except for Contender, so he is safe for the moment. This is absolutely insane racing so far, I must say. As, yeah, there, like you were saying earlier, Aaron and Matthias still going at it. Aaron finds his way past finally. So he's up into P7. So looking here.
Further back.
Yeah, Bance Motocrosser, GK Project, and Vinny all trying to make up from where they've lost out here, going through the end of the second sector now through the third sector of the track. All kind of locked in into a bit of a train here. But there is a decent-ish gap to them and the nearest cars ahead, which is Mosey, Wimpy, and Thimo. And
this is amazing watching, 8 laps in, and Aaron is up, what, 10 places?
Absolutely, yeah. What
six
a
of
drive
them,
so far.
6 of them from the launch, from the start, and then all the remaining 4 was on track.
Yeah, up front here, Contender and Hugo's now going wheel to wheel for P2. This is again all helping Onion Barge run away with this as Hugo's tries to have a look down the inside. Contender fights it. Oh, and he puts him off! Is there any damage? He doesn't get any damage, I don't think. So Verk slides his way back past, and now he's up into P3. Contender, I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened there entirely, so we'll have to review that after. But yeah, now Aaron trying to slide his way through Keyboard Magnussen and Hugos. Now Hugos slowing down a bit, of course. Ooh, Keyboard Magnussen lags, and now Aaron gets past him.
Yeah, but Keyboard Magnussen is going to try and get the move taken back off him again.
Yeah, but he lifts off there. He lifts off there, yeah, smartly, because he was I don't think he was ready to risk that accident. Smeltino, meanwhile, who we didn't talk about, and Nethluke are both going at it too, and they're catching this train as well. Nethluke falling off the back a bit there, and Silver's now starting to catch as well, as they go wheel to wheel here. Smeltino has a look down the inside. Nethluke tries to feed it around the outside here. Smeltino keeps the position and now has DRS too, so that sort of worked out to him. But yeah, Vance messaged me saying, what a crash fest. Very
missing
unfortunate.
incidents.
Yeah, these things may happen, as I say. We keep pushing though, so let's see where he is at the moment. He is running on the mediums. He should be able to, if the rain comes in 20 minutes, I believe it's been about 10, he should be good to go on to the intermediates. So this race is far from over for anyone.
So Aaron has now, I was just going to say, Aaron has now got Verk locked into his sights, and he is, and he just bumps the back of him.
Yeah, he got a lag spike there, and the rain is starting. I see a few drops of rain now. Yeah, but now going wheel to wheel with him. Hugos is now there as well, trying to make up ground here as well. They're gonna go 3 wide here, are they? Oh my gosh, Aaron gets ahead though, and Hugos also gets ahead. Verk tries to get it. Oh, but Aaron goes wide, and Hugos gets past both of them for a double overtake there. Very nice stuff so far. But Aaron, on the exit of turn 3, has the DRS. He's going to be trying to feed around the outside. Verk as well, going 3 wide again. And Hugos backs out as well there because he is smartly not wanting to risk an accident. And the rain is coming very fast, actually. This is already...
big time, yeah.
Yeah, this is... So it didn't matter. Onion Barge's tires are going to be a little bit dead, but now, so... on these conditions, the mediums are probably very quick. So yeah, you can already see they're already instantly starting to struggle. It just started, and
so
track might actually get very fast.
Yeah, suddenly Triton with in saying that. Oh, but Aaron's coming in.
Already Aaron's going in.
So he's
Onion Barge and Contender all. Yeah, it's already time.
Oh, he didn't get a slow down in time, did he? Yeah.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He got a penalty for that. Oh, that is gonna.
Seen that coming.
Hard work he's been doing. Yeah. So if he has to pit again, he will serve it there, and he gets held in the pits a bit. Let's see what happens to Onion Barge. He does not get held because he had such a big gap. So all working out for him.
I mean, that rain is really coming on like very violently. It's like instantly you can see the guys struggling. The Smeltino and
absolutely.
Silver, like they're really struggling already. Naturally, their tires are due to be pitting anyway, anytime soon. But
Oh yeah, they're already
just
off
look
the
at the
road
track.
here.
Look at the track already. It's soaked.
That was very fast. Yawning
That's-
Barge just completely
yeah.
flies past them. Yeah, you can see this is bad timing for Silver. I think he, I don't think he thought it, because DRS is not disabled yet, is it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm surprised it's not yet. I mean, like you said, it is absolutely not dry weather condition or dry tire
Dry
conditions.
tire, yeah.
Yeah, you can see Silver absolutely
he's
feeding
really
the cars and
struggling.
just doing his best. Yeah, even Smeltino's having. Oh, and Nethluke retires here as well. So he's gone off somewhere.
Just gonna
I
run
didn't
with-
see where.
So we get yellows up ahead and what the end of the beginning of middle of sector 2. Whereabouts is he? He's running on board with Wimpy here. Yeah. Don't see him. Must have been somewhere around the middle of sector 2. The heavy braking zone.
Yeah, I must have had an incident. He was on the soft tires too, so he did not pit. So he must have spun off, unfortunately. But yeah, this is not what the SLR guys wanted to see is rain, because it has been many races with rain, and they are very much fed up with it, I believe. This is race 3 in a row, or third race in a row.
Well, yeah, I know that the decision was made, what, 2 seasons ago? As I see Matthias on the back of Verk. 2 seasons ago, oh yeah, Verk runs a little bit too wide in that corner, Matthias. I'll just hold that thought while I'm running on with Matthias here.
Yeah,
he's looking
got a
like-
good run, but I don't think he's got enough on him. Yeah, but he outbreaks himself.
goodness.
Oh, and he goes off the track. But is he gonna keep it going? Yeah, he keeps it going. He doesn't rotate the car entirely. He does lose several positions though as a result.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I think there was the decision was taken, the kind of a vote was taken a few seasons, maybe 2 seasons ago, I'm not sure, of the exact timeline of in the sense of should we move to dynamic weather.
Yeah.
And most people voted yes for that. But in hindsight, if I could do it again, I'd probably vote for clear, mainly for 2 reasons. One, from the spectator side, whenever we are commentating on it kind of kills the action, because then people are more reluctant to make go for moves, or reluctant to send it, and then the gaps kind of just neutralize, and it kind of just kills a race. And then in saying that, it's twofold. By killing the race, you kind of kill all the action, and I think this race is a kind of a perfect example of it, where the first 10 laps we had amazing action, as Vin is going to go for one on Thimo. Yeah, I mean, even that wasn't. I mean, he went for a move, didn't happen, but it's not that exciting. It's it's kind of a slow motion. But in the first 10 laps, we had proper action, cars going for it, people sending it, people going off track, coming back on track, DRS open. You've got action on track, and then the rain comes, and then it just kind of just sucks it all out of it, sucks all that action out of it, and then it goes from racing people to basically trying to just keep the car on track. So I think it's maybe worth looking at again in terms of should we really stick with this dynamic weather system when you consider we've had quite an awful lot of races that have just been completely spoiled by the rain.
I mean, rain is a part of the game. To me,
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. But the problem I have is that if it happens so often, or there's not supposed to be this high of a chance, especially, I mean, these are rainy areas, but I mean, if if they had a race in here where I am from in California, and the dynamic weather was like regular, I 100% guarantee you it would not be raining for any of the races. But with some of the dynamic weather attributes, it would allow it to be rainy, and with the games kind of thing, it would probably rain very often, which is extremely unrealistic, as Vinny and Thimo are going at it, going very close together on the default strategy, on the default the default setup to Vinny, making up a lot of places. Yes. Is he gonna get ahead of Thimo? Thimo is reluctant there to turn in a bit, but to give him the space very wisely. But he does get a good run here and backs out of it. I believe
Well,
it is. That is not light rain at the moment, I don't think, unless it's just his visor. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's the light rain, but I do believe there's going to be heavy rain, yes?
definitely, there's going to be heavy rain at the last. Oh, motocross nearly lost it there. There's going to be heavy rain at the end of the race.
Ah,
So the last
am I
half of
lagging?
this race.
I think I am.
But just to touch on the what you were saying there about the rain, the weather system, if it was based in California, it would be naturally always dry. Well, it's like what I said in the last time what the hell is Meltino doing? What? What was that?
What?
I have that on the stream. It's just like he purposely tried to kill himself. He just started. I don't know what happened there, but
or maybe his controller disconnected or something. He's trying to rejoin, but
it's just like
or
the steering wheel was like going. Do you ever hear that whenever Nico Rosberg was sawing at the steering wheel in Monaco, whenever he controversially parked it in the...
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, remember he was sawing?
I don't know.
It was kind of like that.
I mean, I think that was Schumacher who did that one. I remember Rosberg just broke late and then went off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that, though.
But
I don't want to make another fan angry.
But
Mr. Harrison Ford might be watching.
But what was I going to say there? Yeah, but whenever we had the race in France, in the Provence, Côte d'Azur, in the Var region, which is always dry, and then we get a soaking wet race. I mean, yes, it does rain, but I don't know. I just feel that the weather kind of kills it, a lot of the action.
I agree with that. Yeah, the weather does, especially when I'm driving. I know I'm going to just if you look at France last race,
Yeah. I
was
hate it.
very I was just going very slowly and trying to keep it on the track, which even then, I mean, I'm not used to driving wet weather sometimes in some of the tracks, especially not France. And I mean, that's another thing is that most drivers don't really prepare for wet weather racing, and because they count on the chances being or they count on it being dry, since there is a higher chance of it being dry. But I mean, Tier 2 would say otherwise.
But then you just get some drivers who are just so naturally gifted at driving in the wet. Onion is one, Aaron is the other, and of course Speedy. I mean, Speedy's hard to beat in the dry, but when the rain comes, you must just forget about trying to beat him because he's just brilliant in the wet. And I just don't know how to do it, because if I try and sink the throttle, or even be careful with the throttle, I'm going to lose it. But that's just me anyway.
Yeah, I'm reading the chat here. Mr. Praetoris says that Tier 2 is the wet tier. Where we work out the kinks, I guess.
No doubt about it. As Matthias.
And,
ooh, big lag spike for Keyboard Magazine there.
Yeah, this is going to give Matthias a run, but is he going to try and feed around the outside? No, he's going to try and get the switch back here. But I don't think, I think Keyboard Magazine has that covered off because, as we discussed, Slipstream in this game is pretty much unnecessary. It's like useless. Matthias does send it on the brakes though to get alongside him into turn 4. Goes wheel to wheel with him. This is looking like a good battle here. So we might have something here. Matthias on the inside. Keyboard Magazine defending it around the outside here, but Matthias with the better line through the corner forces him out wide a bit and takes it back. And yeah, there you go. He gets ahead. So very good fight between those two.
Yeah, also considering the conditions as well. It's some impressive driving from the two boys.
Oh, he goes wide on the penultimate corner and goes wide again a little bit here. So Verk is going to get a good run at him for P4. Let's see if he should be able to hold on to it because he was well enough ahead. So yeah, he goes struggling a bit on the traction. Verk seems to be quite comfortable. So this might actually, I mean, depending on the straight line speed, of course, Hugo's in practice apparently has some pretty good straight line speed on him. Verk outbrakes himself a bit and nearly goes into the back of him. So that could have been, as our fellow commentator would say, all sorts of bother. I don't know if Terror is in the chat or anything, but that's my Easter egg reference to him.
This race is still certainly not over because depending on when the heavy rain does eventually arrive. These boys are going to have worn intermediates. So there is, again, depending heavily on when that heavy rain does arrive, we may have another pit stop. We probably will already anyway, just I don't know how long the intermediates can run in Austria.
I believe they go half the race, so about 18 laps.
So they could probably just go the whole when the pit.
They are most likely, not going to be pitting. Silver gets a instant time penalty there. I think no, it's a multiple warnings one. So, as he's trying to catch up to Silver, Motocrosser is
just on with him.
Honest though. So our championship leader obviously struggling there as he loses the rear end. So, and now he's out of the points there. So this is all playing into Onion Barge's hands.
I mean, I know we're only into lap 19, but for me already, sometimes it's a bit difficult picking, the driver of the day. And I know it is still only 19 laps, and I don't want to be dishing out the commentator's curse. But for me, after 19 laps, Aaron is the man for the driver of the day to go from P16 to fight his way all the way up before the rain to get into the pits and sit nicely in P3. However, it is worth pointing out and important to remember that he does have a 5-second time penalty. Which...
I forgot about that. And Silver, oh dear, Silver crashed. So, let's see what's happening there. He's... Well, I think, he's well ahead of Wimpy, so he may or may not lose the position.
I'm going to ask the Mrs. Kitsune if there's anything on the chat.
Oh, we need
live.
A live reporter, I think.
Yes,
he's joined back, so...
Madame Kitsune, you are live on the stream. Can you give me any updates? You what? Okay, everyone. She's being a spoil sport. She's saying it very quietly so it doesn't pick up on the microphone. But I can inform everyone while listening that Kitsune has requested some, quote, yeetage, unquote.
Yeetage?
Yeetage.
Could you describe what the term yeetage means?
Yeetage would be...
you should have her describe it actually, maybe.
Yeetage would have been that big crash in France. That would have been a bit of yeetage. Or the big crash between, was it Light Cruiser and Pretorius in Baku in the Formula 2? That was extreme yeetage. Of course, they're all racing incidents. I forgot about that. That's right. They're all racing incidents.
I would just like to say, Tipsy, that your voice is absolutely beautiful. It is very, very, very beautiful. The stream should be lucky. I'm surprised I'm not saying anything about it, which is it's a bit disappointing, honestly.
I remember on the EGL, whenever, of course, it was last week, that epic moment whenever, if he is watching, hopefully he is, our proud champion, well, it's a champion in our eyes, Mr. Terror, put on a fantastic performance in the tournament, and of course was won by the incredible talent of Jensen. That man is just an absolute force of nature in this game. But I remember you were saying something about it in the stream about can we just enjoy listening to the commentator, and some guy just said no.
Oh yes,
and I was like,
that
what?
was. They're on my hit list at the moment.
It's like, what did I do to you?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, what is everyone being so mean? I remember last EGL tournament, everyone was just going along with the banter. For those of you who don't know, I never get to actually participate in EGL tournaments since I'm
there's
busy with school or
there's a sad story. We are going off on topic a little bit, but mainly because, as I said earlier, the rain kind of kills the race, and everyone.
The rain might actually be picking up now for sure.
Oh yeah,
so,
but as you can see, everyone's getting time penalties for cutting the corners, and who will we run on with? We'll run on board with somebody else. Who will we run on board with?
I'm trying to manage. I'm monitoring this battle here with Burke and Matthias.
Okay, yeah.
At the moment, it is.
So I'll run on board. I'll run on board with that. What was I saying there? I forget what I was saying.
Something about EGL.
Oh no, yeah, I was talking about you. a little backstory to that one, people. If you're listening, if you're paying attention, and you're getting a little bit frustrated at the lack of action because of the wet races. Let me give you a bit of backstory. Mr. Triton, an absolute generational talent that he is.
That is a very big lie.
You may not believe that, Mr. Triton, but I can assure you that you are quite a talent. You have kind of dropped off a little bit. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, Bance has gone off the road, unfortunately, and is missing a huge chunk of front wing right now. So he is, and yeah, he's just gonna smash the
look
wall,
at that.
and that is it.
That's a racing incident if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, that is. And he brought out the safety car.
That's not
so
gonna
we,
go down well with the FIA.
That's not gonna sit well. Unlucky.
I mean.
But we did. But he did something for us. He saved the race.
Yeah, he's got the action going. We're gonna see everyone closing up on each other. Onion Bar's is gonna feel the pressure getting the people behind him. But I mean, FIA probably won't do much about that. This racing incident. What was I saying there? Yeah, so a bit of backstory for the EGL. Mr. Triton, the generational talent of that he is. You need to slow down, Onion. Oh, yeah, he did, got it. You have been trying to take part in, and Mr. Triton has been trying to take part in an EGL tournament since the beginning, since the very first one. And he was never able to do it.
Contender gets a penalty as well.
Yeah.
So
that's sitting nicely for Onion now. But Mr. Triton has never been able to get into the EGL because of either school or whatever. Always some reason that he couldn't race. Well, he was prepared and ready for action in the last EGL. Mr. Triton was ready. He was armed, he was prepared, he was practiced, he's got all the setups ready, he had all the tracks tested, he was ready for someone to just nominate him for his driver. And he didn't get picked. Poor Mr. Triton did not get picked, which is an absolute shame. Because people that maybe will have forgotten, but you were the top 4, I think, last in the SLR Championship. And you were a major you were a major contender for that title.
My excuse as to why I did not win is because I was sick on the day of the finale. Mm-hmm. I believe what happened was just to go off topic again since we have the safety car.
Yeah.
I had a 101 degree fever. My voice was gone. And even though my voice was gone, my fever was there. My head felt like it was gonna burst open, and my throat itched and everything. Of course, per your request, I streamed my race and commentated over it with Mr. Vance for our constructors battle. And in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that because that added another 2 weeks to my recovery because my voice was gone for a whole month.
Wow.
I did not gain full control of my voice for a whole month. But
I mean, I suppose that was a plus for some people.
I mean, yeah, I believe. I mean, if you want to recap, I won't. I mean, I guess I will spoil the race because it's been so long. But in the season 2 finale, I remember how depressing that was. I was sick and I had to start last for reasons I'm not gonna get into. Yeah. So I started at the back of the grid. Copy had turned off his racing line, so he was not necessarily very quick. Now he is absolutely insane. But he was still adjusting at that point. Get owned as well. And Astro was unable to show up for the 4-way title fight. And then off the start, somebody had spun Get Owned around.
That's right.
Was it the 2 racing points, or Force India back then? It was, I believe, Ruthful and Atrocity, who, spoiler alert, may or may not be making a sudden appearance in Tier 1, so be sure to tune into that.
Breaking news, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Breaking news, you heard it here first.
Let me make sure the safety car's not coming in yet.
Yeah, it's not.
I believe it will be a few laps. Okay, but,
you have time.
So, what was it saying?
Atrocity,
was spun
yeah.
around. Copy was kind of just sitting in 4th place behind Vance, and I could not make up anything because I was ready to park it and pull over because I was not in the best scenario to race, and Get Owned was just kind of trying to fight back, and it was kind of a lost cause because of the gaps. But yeah, after that, and my AOR endeavors, if anyone here cares for that, and we have
Hey,
collision.
hey,
So I think
severe collision.
he hit the back of Thimo, I think, in the game. Yeah, they both got the 5-second penalty because
why did
somebody,
Thimo get it?
because the game is this is the F1 2019
Am I gonna have to
game.
have another
If you
rant
have
at
any
Codemasters?
If you have any glitches, be sure to let EGL board know and
Yes.
send it in so we can post it. Because yeah,
Codemasters,
we'll make.
we're coming for you.
But yeah, you can continue with what you were saying.
I don't remember what I was saying,
You're
but
saying something about EGL and
well, what I will
my
say.
failure to.
Oh yes. Well, but what I will say before I forget, the safety car can't go. Oh, Jeremy!
Jeremy, I saw that. That's not what Mr. Contender needed.
And that's obviously what happened previously. Oh, and then Contender does it to Muzzy!
Yeah, because Mosey brake checks him because Onion slows down for that, and yeah, now he's got one too. And Jeremy goes off again. What is Jeremy doing? He needs to lift off, and there's more front wing flying. What is going on here? And Vinny nearly hits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say before this kicks off that at some point the safety car was supposed to let
there's more front wing going again.
They were supposed to
Contender as well,
What?
and again hits him.
What?
What are you guys doing? And Matthias also hits Burke. They need to, you guys.
Oh my
what are you
goodness,
doing?
this is just perfect for Onion Barge.
Okay, Onion Barge goes. Aaron is going past Jeremy. They gotta lift off Mosey and Aaron. Or not Aaron, Mosey and Jeremy. And yeah, he's trying to make his way past there, Aaron. And Hugo is now alongside him here. But the race is going again. We have some racing here. Jeremy holding, I believe, holding them up a bit. Aaron does get past. He goes off to let everyone through. Keyboard Magnuson trying to have a look there.
Hugo lost it. I don't know what happened. Maybe he got too much in the power or what. Something happened there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, too much on the power. Not the right moment there. Aaron.
Oh, Vinny takes out.
There's Vinny. And
Vinny just completely. Oh my. Vinny just completely killed Burke.
And he hits Aaron too and gets ahead. Yeah, that's not very nice, Vinny. You.
I'm not sure why I got the tail end of it, but I think he just basically missed the break point and just killed Burke.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Onion Barge's lead, which I mean he's held on to this entire race, is down a bit. But I mean he's got to get a push on. He's got to get on it right now. Otherwise, yeah, this might not be looking good. But Vinny, I believe, yeah, he has front wing damage. Aaron is trying to fight his way through here, and they make contact there. Vinny not giving any space to anyone at the moment. It seems. Yeah, he lets him go there. He brakes very early. He's going into the pits for a front wing change. I think. Yeah, that is some hefty damage on him now. But Aaron has to get a push right now because he served his 5-second penalty, so he is in the clear if he wants to get this P2. And
yeah, and Contender has got like 50 million seconds.
Yeah, he just got about 20 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah.
So FIA is going to be busy today. In the background here, let's see what's happening. So Hugo's pits onto full wet tires for some reason. Is it? Yeah, the track is getting very wet. So this actually might be what he needs. Wimpy, let's talk about that. Wimpy already made the gamble and pit onto the full wets under the safety car. Is Wimpy going to be leading the race?
Of
course. This is heavy rain. This is heavy rain right now.
This is what I was saying to you, man. I was saying to you, depending on when the heavy rain comes, will depend on whether they need to pit again. That safety car just came in perfectly for some people. Yeah?
Yeah, we have GK Project Thimo and Verk all fighting it out here. Verk missing a lot of front wing, of course. GK Project having a look at him, makes a little bit of contact with him, feeds his way around there. Yeah, Verk holding off, I think, for these wet weather tires. Yeah, Hugo's on it as well. Let's see if this pays off. Because at the moment, I think the intros might just be a little bit quicker. But Verk struggling, obviously.
Verk needs to move over if he wants to get in the pits.
Yeah, he needs to move. Yeah, he's
got to let him through.
Yeah, he's letting him through. Yeah, he's letting him through. Wimpy does go wide, though, himself. But, yeah, like I said, if Wimpy keeps it clean, he might actually be in a good position here if we have to change. Oh, Motocrosser gets disqualified. He didn't serve his drive-through penalty. The game probably didn't tell him, and oh dear.
It's all happening now, folks.
This is a race here. If you're just tuning in, this is all shaping up here. We might have another tire change
And
in a
Verk
minute
is
here.
retired as well.
Yeah, Verk. Unfortunately, things just
And
did not work out
Jeremy,
there. Jeremy in the pits.
I'm wondering
leaving,
is did Verk retire just purely out of frustration from getting taken out, because that was a clear taken out. He was on for some nice points there.
Yeah, unfortunate. Like I told our fellow 2SRL driver, that Vance, these things may happen. So.
Yep.
Unfortunate, of course. This is all unraveling for some, but it's coming together for others here. Aaron, a good position here.
I was going to say, but just before we see GK Projects, he's probably going to go for a move on Thimo any moment here. But that move by Wimpy to go onto the wets, you have to remember, people, that he has two fantastic engineers, and that would be in the form of Mr. OceanChief and Mr. Icewind. So they are probably
coming in. Yeah, they probably told him to gamble. This is a gamble worth taking. Hugos is also on those wet weather tires, so I'm thinking it is going to get wet soon, like a little bit more wet. So Wimpy may end up being the fastest car on track if that is the case. If it doesn't, I'd say give it 2 more laps. Otherwise, it is not worth doing this, unless the pace is that much better on the tires. But let's give a shout out here to Mr. Thimo, who is up 6 positions, sitting P6 after his teammate had issues. He is looking very good in the rain. But GK Project, of course, is looking very feisty as well, looking to get that P6 from him, and is right on the back of him, looking for a move here. Is he going to send it? No, he's not, very wisely. So, very clean driving so far. Enjoying that.
Thimo runs a little bit wide though. GK Projects gets compromised, or capitalizes on that mistake. Thimo still holding on in there. Thimo is
GK Project feeding it around the outside, but yeah, Thimo does hold off on it. Very nice defending.
Yeah.
And GK Project giving him enough respect there. Very good from both of them. Having another look there, carrying a lot more speed through that corner. But what's happening here up front? Onion Barge still not pitting. The heavy rain is here for sure. Yeah. This is heavy rain.
Matthias with the time penalty. So Triton, there's going to be a real change up here whenever they cross the line, because, well, Contender has got like 20 seconds. Aaron has completed his. Matthias has got time penalty. Keyboard Magazine, I think, may have as well. Who's this? Is this Wimpy? No, it's not Wimpy. Who was that? Who was I looking at there?
I'm not too sure. Yeah, but at the moment, I mean, I don't think the wet weather tires are working as they should, because Vinny is right on the back of Hugos, who is very slow a bit at the moment on them. His whole race is pretty much unraveled after that safety car, so very unfortunate circumstances for him. Mosey moving over to let Wimpy through for blue flags there. See what's happening here. GK Project falling off the back of Thimo now.
Oh, Vinny! Vinny hits the back of Hugo.
Oh dear, Vinny, all sorts of struggles at the moment. That might be down to the brake pressure. I might make that excuse. He is not using his own regular brake pressure, which I'm not sure what he uses, but
that is actually quite a good shout there, Triton. He is on default setup.
Yes. Meanwhile, up front here, Contender and Aaron are going to be closing in on each other, or Aaron closing in on Contender. I mean, going to have a good run up into turn 1 here. If he gets a good exit here, yeah, Contender going to be sitting duck here, potentially with the mode 4. The engine is up and the battery is up as well for Aaron as he sails past him there for P2 on track. We know it's definitely P2 on track because, as you said, Contender has several penalties, which
50
is going to help
million.
Matthias.
50 million.
Yeah. This might actually help Thimo get P5, and Keyboard Magnuson might get P4 out of this too. So
Matthias has got time penalties as well. He's got at least 3 seconds minimum.
At the moment as well, looking at the weather, I don't think the full wets are taking off. I do see puddles though off the racing line, I think, but that might just be that might not be it enough. So Aaron 6 seconds off the back of Onion Barge from last on the grid, from almost last, I believe. 17th, I think he was.
Vinny's mounting a charge on Hugo again, so I think you're right, Triton. I don't think these wets are working for them.
It is worth the risk since they are all guaranteed point. they're all guaranteed points, and Hugos is only a reserve driver. He's not too fussed. It's good practice for him for 2S, to defend his championship, of course. Unless I mean at the moment, if you follow the 2S speed, he seems to be running very well away with that. And
pretty much
it is practice
over.
nonetheless. Yeah, it was worth the risk. It was very much worth the risk. I gotta hand it off to Wimpy there as well. I mean, you can see here, he's about to get unlapped by Mosey Gaming, who's, I mean, if I were Wimpy, I mean, it's whatever. Just as long as I would want to risk getting taken out.
Oh yeah, he's going for the move on Hugo.
Yeah, down the inside there. Hugo's is still going to defend it. I mean, it looks as if it's...
There doesn't seem to be too much of a drop-off on the wets. Like, not that much. There's just enough, you know, for them to get the move done. But, Hugo's just going for this. He's going to go for the
switchback now. Is he going to go down the inside here? Vinny gave some enough racing room. A bit too much, if you ask me.
Yeah,
it was a little bit wide. But he does get a very good exit off the corner. Yeah, look at the launch he got there compared to Hugo's. Yeah, very nicely done. But in the slipstream, not even probably going to be enough. Also, I think the rain has calmed down a bit. Yeah, the rain has definitely calmed down, so that was, unfortunately, not the right strategy.
But, as you said, they still get points.
Yes. Thimo does have a penalty, I believe, at the moment. Keyboard Magnuson might not. So, he's going to be trying his best to approach this as he can. Keyboard Magnuson already defending to break that slipstream. Thimo trying to get this. It would be P4, I think, because Kutender is not that far off the road, and has many penalties if they don't get removed. Which, I mean, I think they might.
Yeah, that safety car thing was just an absolute, I don't know, bumper car session. We have someone called Vexation has joined. Vexation. If anyone knows who Vexation is, say hello. Hello, Vexation. Vexation
Matthias makes a bit of a mistake,
Goodbye,
but
Vexation.
he still should be good, actually.
Please call again.
There goes our
well, look, he gets a mention.
Yeah.
If anything, that's what he gets.
Mr. Wimpy holding on. I mean, I gotta hand it to Wimpy. P8 here. This is good points for him. The risk didn't matter. He took the risk. It didn't pay off, but it didn't actually go against him. So
yes,
I must say that was very well done.
Nothing ventured, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Oh dear, Thimo goes very wide and nearly off, but luckily he keeps it back on.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Mr. Triton.
Yes, of course. Let's see what's happening here. So, I mean, let's talk quick about safety cars. Etiquette.
Okay.
This is something I figured out. I was always paranoid of somebody running into the back of me in the safety car. I learned that there's nothing I can do to prevent that. So the best thing you can do is focus on the car in front of you. And if you see them brake, you brake. Don't.
Well,
I mean, this is something I'm still guilty of. If you keep on looking behind you, whatnot, it's not gonna be. It's not. You're gonna be in the same scenario too. That's probably why they're the ones hitting you as well, if that makes sense. Like they're just gonna be like focusing too much behind instead of focusing in front, and they're gonna be the ones causing those incidents, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we're approaching the final lap here. Onion Barge, 5 seconds clear. Aaron did start to mount a bit of a charge, but to no avail, unfortunately for him. I mean, but you can't. Drove a phenomenal race. I mean,
if I can just touch on what you were saying about the safety car, what I find a lot of people seem to do whenever they're on formation laps or safety cars is they kind of just follow behind each other like a train. Not everyone, but quite often you would see people doing it. They just follow behind like a train. And what I always do is I always stay on the opposite side of the track from the car in front of me. As well as possibly the guy behind me as well. I would always lift off. I never really brake hard. I would lift off way in advance. So
dear, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, Wimpy has gone off the road a bit and loses P9 or P8 to Vinny. So, unfortunate for him. I mean, he's still safe in P9. He should get those points, but... Yeah, sorry, continue. Actually, before you continue, we should crown our winner, I believe.
Oh yes.
As he's approaching the line here, pretty much undefeated, like unmatched this whole race as he was last week here. Coming across the line is Onion Barge slowly to win.
Then Aaron.
And yeah, Aaron is gonna come across here as
Fantastic.
well.
Contender is not going to
Let's see
keep
where
that
he
place.
ends up. Yeah, I don't think he's going to. So 21 seconds. So that is a big gap. Yeah, Matthias is going to be claiming that P3 by just a bit, but it depends on if he gets some of
Keyboard
those
Magazine might
removed.
get this too. Yeah.
Yeah, Keyboard Magnuson actually gets P3.
Ooh.
So wow, okay, and Timo keeps P7. GK Project jumps him because Timo had penalties as well, which may get removed potentially.
Kudos to Muzzy Gaming for, continuing on when everyone else was either retiring or, well, just crashing. He kept it in there. I always give a mention to someone who's, well, even when they are so far back, they still, they still try to complete the race. So big respect for me personally for anybody that does that. Well done, Muzzy Gaming. But yes, OceanChief, what am I saying? OceanChief, he never wins. Onion Barge, Onion Barge is our winner. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. He loses in the carton as well. Onion Barge is our winner yet again, and so far we haven't seen this fight that we saw in Australia with Aaron and Onion, although again, it is tempting to give Onion the driver of the day. I know we have to discuss that.
I think it's fairly simple who our driver of the day is. Though.
I think it's a open and close or open and shut case for me personally. This has got to be Aaron. It has to be.
It has to be Aaron from essentially last on the grid after crashing. It wasn't even his own fault for qualifying.
He was 16th. He got up to he got 6 positions. No, he got 10, wasn't it? 10 positions, I think it was, in the first 10 laps, and then jumped into the pits and then just did the rest. Or I think he did most of it before the pits. It just overall a great drive. Again, not taking anything away from Onion, who puts it on pole and commands the race from start to finish in changing conditions, and he doesn't even get himself a penalty. Any other day, that would give him driver of the day. But Aaron had such an outstanding performance from, as we said, as we said, from 16th, changing conditions, passing people, fighting positions, losing it, getting it back again, getting into the strategy, then getting a 5-second time penalty, serving it, switching over to the wets, and then putting it up into P2. That's an absolute remarkable performance, I think, from Mr. Aaron. So for me, and I think Triton is agreed, our driver of the day is Mr. Aaron once again. So hopefully we can get him in for a bit of a chin wag. Meanwhile,
let's see,
the previous standings. Let me see if I can get that previous standings up. There they are. So that was the standings before the race. That's all going to change. Mr. Dead Pixel will be working his little magic fingers in the background, getting me those details. And as of which, when I do get them, if I get them, but I know I will because he's Mr. Reliable, I shall update the standings, I shall update the stream, and probably whenever you're doing the interviews, Triton, I will get the new standings up. But
absolutely. So I'm currently orchestrating that.
Okay, so while he's sorting that out, we can just see on the screen, Onion Barge was in P2 with 117 and Silver was P1 with 135, although that's going to change. Onion Barge will most certainly be first. Aaron has also done himself no harm in getting a P2. What's that? You get 18 points, I think, so 87, 97. Oh my goodness, he's going to jump P3. I think it's going to be Onion first, Silver second, Aaron in third place. So the boys are starting to stretch their legs on the remaining drivers. Have we got anyone lined up for a interview?
We do. We'll start off with our race winner. Hello, Onion Barge. Congratulations on yet another dominating win. I mean, although that safety car nearly cost it. I mean, afterwards it turned out it didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean the safety car. Just at that point, I was pushing hard to bring a gap so I could pit. And if the virtual safety car came out, so I just had about 14 seconds. So I kind of covered myself, but it's still a bit. You just don't want a safety car, but I got a bit lucky that the lap cars are behind me, so I knew I could go whenever I want, and the drivers behind me get stuck. So I got a bit lucky with the game. But
Yeah. Also, I mean, I believe you led every lap, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think you did.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I believe that is. I don't know if that's the first one or not, but yeah, I think yeah, that is essentially what is known as a Grand Slam. So that was pole, fastest lap, leading every lap to win the race.
Yeah.
So very, very fantastic job from you. Um,
Yeah.
thank
It
you
seemed like
again.
it seemed like the battle for PT was quite interesting. I was looking at the
Yeah,
mini map, and I think I think there was a lot of battling which let me get away. So,
it was. Yeah, it was actually from so
yeah,
then yeah, I was saying on the broadcast that pretty much helped you get away there, and I mean you took full advantage of it, ran away with it, and dominated the race. So fantastic job to you. So
yeah.
now we're
Thank
gonna
you.
move somebody else in here. We're gonna move in our driver of the day and P2 finisher, Mr. Aaron. Congratulations. That was, I mean, also from you. Another example of a different kind of a fantastic drive. I mean, from that was very unlucky in qualifying. We were saying your game crashed, I believe. Yes.
I was in second as well, but on stream I was in second, and I was second on my game as well. But for some reason, I think the host migration messed things up, and I was pushed back to last. So that made things a whole lot harder.
Wait, is that what happened?
Yeah, yeah, I was in second, and then the host migration, and then I crashed,
Um,
and
did
I was last. Yeah.
did you by any chance record that?
Yeah, no. How my great game crashed, I tried to get up the recording, and that's what crashed it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I was gonna say, we have a channel for that. If you are in these leagues,
that doesn't
hashtag
matter.
F1
I'm second
2019
anyway.
bugs. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that was one fantastic drive. I mean, in hindsight, would you have started still on those mediums, or would you have started on the softs? Because
Nah,
I actually
soft
thought the
off.
rain was coming after.
Yeah, I would have started on the softs if I was up front, definitely.
I mean, yeah. The thing I noticed was that you had a significant amount of grip compared to everyone else, though. But that was like for 2 laps until the rain came. I mean, the rain
Yeah.
came very fast. So I was thinking you had a good chance at jumping Onion Barge, but
I think I was
I
kind of helped.
mean,
Yeah, I think I was helped by all the chaos that was happening in that race in the dry period. Like
yeah, and then
second to eighth or something was chaotic, so it helped.
yeah, Tipsy and I were saying is that the rain pretty much ruined the race because nothing was happening after that,
Then the safety car
and
happened.
yeah, then the safety car happened. So thank you, Bance. Shout out to Bance for that. But yeah, you are our driver of the day. Congratulations, you drove
Thank
phenomenally. You pretty much, I mean, that jump from 16th to second showed, I mean, it showed your pace. Hopefully, next week, I believe it is your home race as well as Onion
I'm not
Barges.
here.
I look forward to seeing, hopefully in the dry, a real head-to-head between you two, like we saw in Australia. I mean, we Tipsy and I have been waiting for it. We know the potential is there because I mean, we've seen your pace, but it's just that
Yeah,
things happen with the rain and with I mean, the glitch with you.
yeah.
So hopefully the game plays along with us for once. But
Unfortunately, I'm not going to
congratulations
be
again.
here for the British Grand Prix, so
You're not gonna be. Oh,
yeah.
that is that's unfortunate. Well, Tipsy, we got that's one less viewing prospect. No, no, still tune in, guys. So, but yeah, thank you, Aaron, for your
Thank
time.
you.
That
Well
was
done,
very
Aaron.
well done to you.
Another
Lag
good
spikes in the
commentary.
So
beginning of the race.
And
Oh,
I accidentally brought keyboard Magnuson in mid conversation. So
Like
sorry
spikes at
about
the
that.
beginning of the
later.
race, he says.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. So keyboard Magnuson, that was a hell of a start. I want to talk about that first. From like I didn't even notice it from P7. You went all the way into P2 and were fighting those guys hard. That was pretty impressive. How was the race for you?
well, indeed, the start was amazing. I don't think I have ever had a start like that before. I just passed 2 cars in the first corner and 3 other cars in the next straight. So I was P2 and looking good, but then I had massive lag spikes a few times in the opening 10 laps, and I lost, I think, 3 positions because of those. But then,
I
of
have a
course,
question actually about that.
yes.
The keyboard on this track, how would you say is compared to others? Is it harder than most, or is it
I think it's rather average because there is a lot of hard braking points, which is difficult without ABS. But then again, the track is quite short and don't have a gravel in the near the track, so it's average, I would say.
Also, did you know that the guys in front of you had penalties, or was this a bit of a surprise to get P3? Because I mean, you drove very well. So
I asked Jeff, and I knew that Matthias has had 3 seconds, but I also noticed behind the safety car that the cars in front of me were crashing, so I kind of guessed that they might have 5-second penalties.
oh my
But
gosh.
yes, it was a nice surprise, but I think the FIA will most likely remove some of those. So I might end up P5 in the end.
Oh, true. I mean, but P5, I would be more than happy with that. You did fantastic, and we were watching you with great enthusiasm, Tipsy and I. So thank you again. Very well done to you. And I believe we have one more interviewee, so we will call him in. Mr. Brown, our finishing McLaren. Oh, sorry, Vance. But yeah, how was that for you? You looked a bit planted in the rain.
What do you mean by planted?
Like you kept it on track.
Oh yeah, I think that's accurate.
I forget I should explain some of my wording sometimes.
Yeah, you really Anyway, Schweineschnitzel. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because you know the plan was there, and like Flavio and Pat told me that they talked with Bans, that he would crash himself out, but then they told me over radio plan 6200, which is our code for stay out before Crashgate 2.0 happens. And then I just passed the pit wall, and I hear there's a safety car. So that was code brown muffin beagle, which is our terms for saying Mr. Bans is a doofus. And so I was pretty disappointed. Motocrosser got the jump on me, but then I mean the safety car was pretty funny. We were running triple file at one point because everyone was braking, and it was pretty funny and also kind of dangerous. And I may have I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. It's been fun in the end. I'm happy with the result. It's probably going to be P6. I don't know about the crash with Silver. That was unlucky. Like, I didn't know he was running right behind me, and I thought I might run into someone's race. So I broke, and he ran into my back.
Unfortunate. I mean,
no.
you did very well though.
This is probably, is it? Yes, it is.
Yeah. I brought them in. I think we need to talk to them as well for this because we're not gonna speak after we're speaking now apparently. But no, to finish off with you, Timo, it was still a very good drive. Those are good points, even especially if you can gain some more. 6 points. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Also, I only
because,
had 3 mental breakdowns during driving because
Only
I'm shit.
3?
So
only 3. I usually have
No,
like
wait,
7.
I mean,
so
no, I mean it's been only 3. All of them went for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. So
You made me want to shoot myself.
yeah,
Oh,
no.
whoa,
I feel like I'm 95% responsible for your retirement, and that was all my plan for the Crashgate 2 Electric Boogaloo. But then you bottled it.
Okay, so I think we need to talk with the FIA here now. So Mr. Rene, we have we've heard that you crashed intentionally to bring out the safety car. So
No, guys, this is not what happened.
No, not like this.
No,
Milos,
guys.
Mr.
Guys,
Cursed,
so
how was
listen, quick, okay? I need you to show Milos is the engineer, but he doesn't know the human side. So I go into the corner and I try to press the shift pedal and it doesn't work. And I keep pressing it and nothing happens, and I try to engage it and it makes a weird noise, okay? And then my steering, can you believe it, fails, and the brake pedal doesn't push.
So you want to say you got
I barely survived the crash. It was
you
ridiculous,
absolutely
guys.
you got absolutely tumbarello.
but up until that point, I will ask your engineer, Mr. Sorel Cursed, how was Vance's race?
It was very good and consistent. Until the point where he got taken out, obviously, which was ridiculous.
Most ridiculous, yes.
But the FAA, they're doing a great job at
Killing racing.
killing racing.
No, Aaron did a great job of killing Vance, but that's not the point.
Remember what we say. If you have reports, we reported it.
I mean, I will quickly just do a bit of public defense before I get completely hanged. Just like, no joke. I mean, it is right, Thimo. A big part of it was you, but it's not really an excuse. I just couldn't be bothered finishing the race after, multiple different things. And I saw a couple people crash themselves or retire, and nothing happened. And I did it very, very confident that nothing at all would happen. We discussed it in Discord as well. I was asking, how do I retire? Like, how's the best way to go out, and not like pretend crash or whatever. And I did what others have before me. Unfortunately, though, I called out the safety car. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I will deserve the penalty points, but it's just a bit annoying that, of course, it had to happen.
Mr. Breton, you're also in charge of, like, you designed the penalty system. Is there a penalty for everyone who retires with a drivable car, or just for those who call out a safety car?
I mean, the way I formatted it is so that it's Mr. Breton is Charlie Whiting, actually.
Oh, you're dead.
You're dead. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Damn it.
There goes the monetization on this video.
Oh, frick.
Well, you had I
Unlucky.
bet you had a McLaren in the video, so it's copyright claimed anyways.
Oh, honestly. No, but what happens here is as our resident Charlie Whiting.
Yep.
Sorry, Praetorus. I know you thought I know you are the head, but
he's Michael Nazi.
You are, but you aren't. Yeah. I designed it so that depending on what you cause, it is a different penalty. Like if you bring out a virtual safety car, that's probably about 10 points or so.
Wait, what? So the action doesn't get the penalty, the result does?
I mean, usually, if you're taking the risk. If you bring out that safety car, then yeah, that is a problem. I mean, it's to encourage you to keep going, I think, as much as you can. There are other leagues that are very hard on it. If you retire on track, in general, like if you just flat out retire on track, it doesn't matter, then you get a penalty.
Why don't we just allow it that people leave the session and that's it?
No, you're allowed to, but if you bring something out, then there's a problem.
I thought it gets penalized if you leave the race and not come back.
I think you should.
They took it out of context. I think I'm not going to discuss that here. We speak after.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to know.
You are FIA, so
we speak now.
Not now. Head down, Milos. Anyways, I am getting way off the rails here, I think, and I am hungry.
Yes,
so
did
you're
all
not
the
pulling this. Not this time, guys. Not like this. Not like this, guys. Not like this. Mr. Tipsy is here. I think we will end it here potentially. I believe he is here, as he left me in charge of the interviews.
Yeah,
very
just
graciously.
The standings and already there.
Oh yes. What do we have now? I believe.
Hang on, I'll put them back up.
I forgot to tell Mr. Onion Barge the good news, I believe.
Yeah, 143 points for Onion Barge, 2 wins in a row, 4 wins in total. Puts him P1, Silver P2, 135 points. Matthias in P3, I thought he was actually going to lose that. He's in P3, and then Ag in P4, 105. So the top 4 boys are all on 100 plus points. And it's really looking at the moment... Because Aaron said he's going to be missing Britain, so it's looking like it's going to be a 3-horse race, unless Aaron can show up, for more races. 4-horse race maybe, but looking at the standings at the moment, those top 3 boys are well positioned for this title, because we're getting into the business end of the season. I don't know how many more is left. I'll just get that on screen.
11 rounds.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
11.
Yeah, 12.
12? Oh, right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course. I thought we were at race 10.
Yeah, so Great Britain's next. That's race 10, round 10. Probably going to be another wet one.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I wish I was wet.
I think we ended there. I think we're. I think yeah. The monetization is definitely gone now. So.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, what I did was dumb, but what he did is just okay.
Hot.
Okay, Milos.
So
we
go
speak
on,
after.
yes.
We speak after. Okay, he's gone. All right. I think we ended there.
So yeah, tune in tomorrow. Everyone. Hopefully, there'll be less swearing and a bit more professionalism. Tune in tomorrow for Tier 1. No, sorry, it's not actually tomorrow. What am I talking about? Tomorrow is Formula 2, where it'll be myself and I believe Popo. We were back in action from Formula 2. Of course, they did take a break last week for the EGL, of course, which 2SRL are the champions. So yeah, tomorrow Formula 2 is back. Normality is restored. It'll be me and Popo. We will be covering the Formula 2. And then Saturday will be Ter and Thimo will be calling all the action for Tier 1.
The second fastest league.
SLR, second fastest league. In
Ripping off Tara's joke.
Tier 1. And then on Sunday...
I recycled it.
On Sunday, it will be the round... Well, same race. It'll be Austria in 2SRL. So...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my home race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my home race as well.
Unlucky.
Sorry, Mr. Tipsy, go on.
Yeah, so that's it. There's plenty of action for people to tune into and keep their eyes peeled, and the little bell notification ticked whenever this thing's going to be up and running. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just see people mentioning that. So regardless, tune in tomorrow for Tier 1. Tomorrow for Formula 2. I keep thinking it's Friday. It's long. It's been a long day.
Just how I always say yesterday about Tier 2 and the Tier 1 stream. We're doing exactly the same. I infected you with dumbness when we streamed together.
Yes, because I am dumb.
I think you had that before.
Yeah, so tomorrow is Formula 2. Saturday is
That
Tier
was
1.
way too hard.
And you know what? I'm just going to end.